So, on the coalition issue, yesterday I watched an Arise News interview where Charles Aniagolu interviewed the former running mate to Peter Obi in the Labour Party in the 2023 general elections, Datti Baba-Ahmed. If you watch the video where the opposition coalition group abducted the ADC, African Democratic Congress, as a party they would use as platform to run for the 2027 elections, you see that one of those that were present, apart from Peter Obi, you have Datti Baba-Ahmed, who was his running mate in the 2023 elections under the Labour Party. And we also see Senator Ireti Kingibe from the Labour Party and other people. So yesterday, Charles Aniagolu interviewed Datti Baba-Ahmed, and I watched the interview, and it was quite interesting. Datti Baba-Ahmed is someone who is very forthright, like his elder brother, Baba-Ahmed, and is someone that speaks his mind. Is quite forthright and bold. He speaks confidently, is sure of himself and what he says, and all that. Sometimes Datti Baba-Ahmed, when during the 2023 campaigns, there are sometimes I wish the Peter Obi, the Labour Party, won't send him, as a spokesperson, because he's the type, he's not very diplomatic in his messaging. He just goes straight and just says what is on his mind. So he was asked if he has left the Labour Party and if he's now a member of the ADC, this opposition, the party that the opposition coalition have adopted. And he said no, he has not left the Labour Party and is considering whether or not he should join the ADC. He said that he is still hoping that Labour Party can still put their house in order, that I would have preferred that Peter Obi stayed in Labour Party, that even under the Labour Party when they contested in 2023, they were able to get, according to him, up to 10 million votes, and all that. It feels that it's not only by coalition that they can defeat the APC, and so he still believes that they could find a way of resolving issues in Labour Party and for them to go back, And he was also asked about whether he felt whether it was strange for him to be in that ADC unveiling of ADC as the opposition coalition party, because there are people in that coalition who were like, they were longer held with Obi and Datti Baba-Ahmed, somebody like El-Rufai, and so Datti Baba-Ahmed said he was that he's still trying to catch his breath, that he was surprised by, seeing what went on, how people that, made certain statements during the 2023 elections and thereafter, and who have now fallen out with the ruling All Progressive Party and All Progressive Congress, and they have now come to do a coalition and stuff like that. But one of the key things he said was that he was once in PDP. He was once a senator for some years, and thereafter, I think he couldn't win re-election or something. He had to leave the Senate or so. And so he said that he was part of the primaries, PDP primaries in 2019. Remember 2019, Buhari was going for re-election, as a member of the APC, a candidate of the APC. Then PDP was opposition party, and there were primaries at that time. At that time, that, according to Datti Baba-Ahmed, that the southern people who were interested in running for president from the south, they just gave way. They decided to shelve their ambition, and it was only candidates from the north that picked the nomination forms. So you had Atiku Abubakar, you have Tambuwa, and that Datti Baba-Ahmed said he was in Port Harcourt when that primaries held, and that that Atiku was quite ruthless, that dollars were flying, and stuff like that. And so now in this coalition, you have somebody like Atiku still in the coalition, that he thought that since what's his name? Since the presidency has been retreated to the south, Tinubu is the president, is going for re-election, that, probably the elderly candidate like Atiku would, give way for somebody from the southern, who is from the Atiku is from the north, will give way for somebody from the south, and all that, because that he saw what happened in 2019, where Atiku emerged as a candidate for the PDP and said that if they go into a primary process, that is unlikely to be fair, it's unlikely to be transparent. And if the process by which somebody emerges as the candidate of the ADC is not transparent, it's not fair, that the person, wherever the person is, if the person gets into power, that the person is likely to be compromised. That you look at what happened with Buhari. Buhari ran 3 times, he ran in 2003, 2007, 2011, and he lost all those 3 elections. Then Buhari announced that he was not going to contest again, Then Tinubu went to meet Buhari, convinced him to contest, and Tinubu now, used his political machinery to support Buhari, for Buhari to win, and stuff like that. He said the process by which Buhari emerged, was such that at the end of the day, because of the forces that were in play to make sure that Buhari wins, or Buhari, becomes a candidate and wins, that when Buhari eventually became president, that he could not do much. He couldn't do anything about the corruption that was going on, because the process that brought him was kind of tainted. So he said that if this ADC now, this opposition coalition, if they now do the same kind of primaries which they are used to doing, which they've done in the past, if they do those kind of things, that the person that emerges as candidate of the ADC, if the person succeeds in getting into power, what are the chances that the kind of corrupting influences that may have taken place during the primary process will not influence the person when the person becomes a president? And that is why he is not too optimistic about the ADC. He said that Peter Obi should not be a VP, that Peter Obi should be a candidate, not a VP, but that he fears that the way things are going, that may not be the case, So Datti Baba-Ahmed really, he tried, one would have thought that since he was present in the ADC unveiling, that he would by default, when he went for that interview yesterday, speak in support of the ADC and all that. But he didn't. And that is classic Datti Baba-Ahmed. He doesn't go and now start sugarcoating things or try to pretend and say this or that. No. He just says things that they are. And he really talked about a number of things. So quite an interesting interview. And it, shows a number of key things. That if the process by which somebody emerges as the candidate of a party, if the process is flawed, that such corrupting influence could influence the person when the person becomes president, and that he wants a process that is fair and transparent, And he's still hoping that the Labour Party can put the house in order, that he has not left the Labour Party, that the Labour Party can be put in order and stuff like that. So it's really a number of people who watched the interview on X, formerly known as Twitter, where some of the Obi supporters were kind of, because it's like Datti Baba-Ahmed just like poured cool water. He said Datti said there's a lot of excitement about the new coalition, the unveiling, and that people should not be consumed by that excitement. They should be realistic and look at what the issues and what is on ground. And I think he made some very important points there. I just hope that the coalition could just get around to, it's just that, Atiku being there. Atiku has wanted to be president for many years, since 1992. For so many years he wanted to be president. I don't see how he will just allow a process where he will not be the candidate, But if the other people, if an Amechi, El-Rufai, other forces within the ADC decides that they want to go with a popular Peter Obi, then they can put in machinery in place to see that Peter Obi emerges. Or better still, if there could be a consensus through which Peter Obi emerges as the candidate of the ADC. So the interview that was granted by Datti Baba-Ahmed was really a sobering one, and it strives to cool down, to taper down the excitement that people are having about the coalition. That people should not just be excited, rather should look critically at the issues.